Welcome wonders to Told You Watercolors. My name is Jennifer and today I want to dive into a new first attempt for me. I want to use some of these water-based dual brush markers as a watercolor element to add to one of my pages in my Lulu Mayo book. And I know that some of the paper in some of her books works better with water mediums than others, but I really want to give this a try, and I'm only going to be doing a small section of it. So we'll dive right on in and see how it turns out. So let me get set up and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so the page that I'm trying to attempt this on is this one here in the A Million Unicorns by Lulu Mayo. And I'm really not sure, as I was picking out my markers, if I wanted to do a light pink background or a purple background. I did choose some colors here that I'm going to be testing, and I'm not going to do it right away since I've never done this before. So I got my sketchbook out here. The Tombow markers that I pulled out was number 620, 723, 553, 772, 992, 761, and 910. So I pulled out some pinks, a couple purples, and even some tans, and I want to test them out in my sketchbook. I usually have a designated spot for each month so that I can see my coloring process. So I didn't make one for April yet, so I'm going to do that now. We'll pick a green. I just have this random random pencil sitting out. So we will do April, and we'll give it a little leaf. Maybe another little leaf. and a little grass. There we go. April. All right. So I have this little plastic water color thing. Not sure the technical name, but I got this palette. I guess it's a palette. And I have the Arteza water brushes. They have a couple different tips, and I'm not even sure which one is the best one to use, but I think this is the medium-sized tip that I chose. So it's not the smallest, it's not the biggest. Hopefully it's just right. I was guessing because I have larger sections here, but then I have smaller sections here. So the point on this brush, I'm hoping we'll get into the smaller sections, and then I'll still be able to use a good bit of the brush to do the larger background. All right, so as I test, let me try to, on the side, I'm just putting my colors in a reasonable kind of order for myself to stay a little organized. And from what I know, I watched one video from Amanda Colors, and she did this with her Tombows. You just color in your palette. That doesn't seem to be a lot at all. Oh no. We'll see if this works. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed to have more whenever she did it. Maybe I don't use the brush tip. So I have the dual. Maybe it's the fine. That seems too little though. Does it matter? Let's see. Oh, that's too little. Yeah, that's not doing anything. Okay. So I guess I'll just start with that. It looks like a tiny little amount. Look at that. But all right, let's just dive on in and see what happens. So I didn't push the buttons yet, and I can already feel that the brush is wet. And I know that you have to have as little water as possible, and the marker itself is already wet. So I'm just going to pick up what's here, and I'm going to just make a mark. Okay, and even with that little bit, I can tell that the paper is kind of picking up a bit. So, trial and error. Let's do, I want to mark the numbers too. So that was with 761. So I'm just going to mark them 761 and go from there. Let's see if 723, I wonder if it's because of how pastel the marker might be. But even with that little bit of marker, it seemed like it was a tiny little bit. There seems to be a decent amount of color on the page, and I want it to be very, very light. So I know applying water to this anyway is going to make the pigment less bright and noticeable. Look at that. That's still pretty bright. So I'm already learning that you can't go over the paper too many times or it's going to start to pill. Let's see, that was 723. And this is just me trying to see what color I like most to put on my page. This one's even darker yet, so I don't think I'm going to go with this one at all. This is 772. I don't know. I don't know if my lighting, oh, hold on, let me try this light. I don't know if that's better. I had to turn it off for the first one because I had my plastic case in there and it was just reflecting like crazy. But, and I'm not dabbing this off. I don't know if that matters. Look at my orange. It's got to be orange, right? Oh, that cleaned up pretty nice. Okay. And I haven't even pushed the water out of this yet, and I'm still feeling wet. So I don't know when you're supposed to push the button for more water, but I haven't pushed it this whole time. So I'm just gonna go like this and try not to go over the paper as much. I guess it definitely depends on what paper you're using, but I'm seeing spotting. And I'm wondering if that means that the paper is breaking down where it's spotting. I don't want that to happen on the Lulu Mayo page, but it might. What color was that? 772. 772. And then I have my tans. So this one is 910. I'm probably hardly going to be able to see it. The cap shows like a tan color. I think there are names to them too. Maybe not. I could have sworn there was like a name to the marker. I just see a number. But the cap looks pretty tan. The pigment coming out looks, oh, let me clean off the brush. All right, a little orange. So let's see how this one looks. I can't even really see it. I definitely don't like that one. That was 910. 910. And then 992 is a little bit darker of a tan. So I'm just gonna come in and scribble some more. And pick it up with the brush. So I'm gonna say that my first attempts are not, they're not supposed to be tutorial type at all. This is me figuring it out. So don't start anything or follow me at all until you see how it turns out for me. This is not a tutorial. This is me playing with my stuff and trying something new. Here's the purple. I have a 620. And then I have one more purple, so I'll have to either clean out one of the palettes, I think, or if I pick up enough of the marker here, I should be okay, I guess. Putting the darker purple on top of this. Still didn't push the button, and I still have a decently wet brush. So this one, ooh, that's pretty. I like that. Whee! Oh, I like that a lot. I just don't know how it's gonna look on the page. Maybe I can just take this and wipe it really quick. I don't know. All right. And then the last one, oh, what was that? That was 620. 620, and this one is 553. So a little bit darker. It just seems like there's no color in the palette at all, and then it all comes out on the page, which is really cool. I do like this. I think this is fun. Oh, that's nice too. That is, I think it comes across more blue to me. Now I kind of like this one too. I don't like this one. I don't know. See how it's just, you're probably far away. It's gonna be hard to, and then the light messes up. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay. I'm not sure how well you can see it because they are pretty light colors. I might be able to bring it up to you a little bit. But you get some spotting in the color itself when I go over it. But if I just use my brush, oh, I'm running out of the ink. But you can see it here, down here. It doesn't have any of these spots in it because I just ran my brush across once. But then as I play around with it more, it spots more. I think 723 came across really smooth and really nice, but that's a little bit brighter than what I'm going for because I just want it to be a nice soft background. So I think I have to rule out these for sure, and 772 and 723. So I think I'm looking more towards 761 and even 910 doesn't look half bad. I might try 910. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do 910. That surprises me because I thought I would want it to be pink or purple to go well with the page. But now I think it's just going to be too close of a color. So I'm going to go in with this lighter tan, 910. And we're just going to hop, that's it. That's as far as my testing goes. And so that my OCD doesn't go crazy, I'm going to mark that last one, 553. 553. There we go. So for future reference, I'll know those colors. I guess I should also mark that these are my Tombows, but I don't plan on getting crazy with supplies at all. So Tombow Dual Brush. There we go. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be going crazy with my supplies. That's what I say now. We'll see where I'm sitting towards the end of the year. So I guess I'll keep you guys zoomed in like this. You're not missing much of the page at all. I'll center you more. I tend to have my stuff pushed over to the side because the way my phone holds, I can only see the sides of it because of the bar that holds it. So I tend to keep my stuff to the side so I can see it, but I gotta stop doing that. So now I can't see it at all, but I know it's centered. All right, so I'm gonna push this away, clean this up a bit. That's enough. And I suppose we are just gonna dive right in. I'll use this one here. I'm so excited to see how it turns out. And I really don't know when you're supposed to push the button or not. The brush is still wet, so I'm not sure when you're supposed to do that, but I am not wanting to have too much water on this paper. Okay, let's just do it. Let's dive in and put this on. Okay. I'm so happy to finally be getting this background done. I've had this idea since February, and I just have not gotten the chance to record this video at all because I knew I needed some time to myself to do this. And every single time I had time, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time. And when I do something, I just want to do it and finish it. So it's like, I need to know in advance that I'm going to have enough time to be able to start and finish what I'm planning to do. Okay, so it definitely is making those marks already on the page. And I don't know how I feel about that, but you know what? I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Just because we're trying something new, and I'm more excited about that than the outcome of the page, which is funny, I guess. I'm just more excited to try out this technique. And then whatever the page looks like, it looks like. But it does look a little messy in these spotted areas. And like I said, I do not have a lot of water coming out of this brush at all. So I guess it's really sensitive. Okay. And I kind of just want it to be darker around the outside and then fade into the unicorns in the center. I think the only thing about this process that I already am experiencing that I don't like is how little marker comes out in the palette and having to continue to color in it constantly to get your pigment out on the brush. I'm not a fan of that, but I do absolutely love that I'm not having to use a colored pencil, and you know, sometimes that's very strenuous and hard on your hand. It is still, it's a little background, but for something larger, I could see myself liking this process just because you're not having to worry about pressing with your colored pencil for an extended amount of time. And I've noticed I've become sad in the size of my Prismacolor pencils right now, of how they're getting shorter and shorter, and I'm not ready for them to be so short. So I am excited to get different materials and try different techniques so that I'm not always using the same thing all the time and running out of it quicker because of that. Okay. It looks like this is getting better up here. And I'm also not too concerned with the back. Can you see this? Because it has that black background on the back. So we're in good shape there too. I hope my hand has been out of the way. I haven't even been thinking about that. I'm sorry. So, color, color, color. Yeah, this is just a bit tedious. I just want more to come out on the palette. But that's all right. I think it's a lot of fun doing this. All right. And like I said, it does, applying it goes quick, but then having to stop to color on the palette so often is what slows you down. So that's the tedious part, is getting your color ready. But I'm glad that I pulled the tans out because I'm surprised. I was leaning more towards a pink in my mind, but seeing them on my sketch pad, I noticed, I just thought it would kill the look of the flowers on the page. It would hide them instead of bring them out more. So I think this color works really well. It's nice and soft, and it just ties everything together. It just puts, it's like more grounded and finalized this way, and I like that. And it's light enough that it's not competing with the stems, the bright orange. So that's good too. So right now, my kids are being babysat because technically this is this is a date day with my fiance, and we're in between events right now. So I asked him if it was okay if I colored really quick. He was like, yeah, that's fine, go ahead. So the first thing that we did today was we went and we saw a Minecraft movie, and I was so happy to have gone and seen that with him. I did already see it with my daughter, and we had a fun time seeing that too. And then I was like, I really want to see it again. I was like, hun, will you go see it with me? He was like, sure. He plays with me sometimes, but not all the time. But when we do, we play for a good bit of time. We're stuck inside our world for about maybe a week playing, and then he's off to play his regular games that he plays. So we did that this morning, well, this afternoon, and that was really exciting. So that was the second time that I saw the Minecraft movie. And then later tonight, we play a card game called Lorcana, and it's by Ravensburger. They make like a lot of different games and puzzles and all that kind of stuff. But they also have made Lorcana, which is like a Disney trading card game. And we go to leagues to play against other people and try to win the special promotions that they have out. So we'll be doing that in a little bit. I think I have about maybe a half hour before we go and do that. So that's the other thing that I'm loving about this background is that it really is coming together pretty fast. I'm kind of worried about how I'll have everything fade to the center. Here was easy because of the stems come across and it kind of blocks it from having an awkward fade. So this part was kind of easy. I think I do want to come back and make it darker down here. Are you seeing the tip? Yeah, I just wanted to double check. But I do want to come back and double check, but from what I remember, you want to have your areas dry first before putting more water down. Well, and like I said, I have not pushed this button at all. I'm afraid to. I don't know. I will watch a tutorial on these brushes just because I want to get into different water mediums and see how they work different. But I knew as far as this goes, your water-based markers are already a wet medium to begin with. So you don't need too much help with breaking that down. They're already wet. So I already knew that I wasn't going to need much water for the application process of this. So that's why I didn't even gravitate towards really learning about the brush too much, but I definitely will want to sooner than later. It looks like I picked up a lot of marker on that last end, so it's a little bit darker here. So I might want to go over that, and then I just want it to fade nicely. Fade. And we'll see what it looks like whenever it's all dry. But yeah, so we'll be going to our Lorcana game night, and that's actually something that I'm going to tie into coloring too. The artwork on these cards are really beautiful, and there are some pages that I look at and I'm like, oh my gosh, I kind of really want, like, I think of one of the cards and I'm like, oh, I want to use that, like, that color palette or that lighting or effect on my coloring page that I'm seeing in this card. And there are brilliant artists that have worked on the cards. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm really sorry. The only thing that I can really relate it to that might be something that that is well known and that you might know is like Pokemon trading card game. So that's the one that's like really big. And Magic of Gathering, I think, is another big one. One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, they're all those big trading card games, or it's a TCG, trading card game, TCG. But yeah, we get into that, and I'm really excited to go tonight and see how we do. He's much better at it than I am. But I still have a lot of fun. Here, I'm going over this. Oh, I don't know if that was a good idea. Maybe not. I went over this part that I already did, and it looks really dark, and I don't want it to be too dark. So we'll see. I hope my hand is out of the way for you guys. And I hope I'm talking loud enough. I don't know, because I sit down, my camera's up above, so I'm further away from the speaker on the camera on the phone. So I tried to project my voice. For whatever reason, I still have a pretty scratchy voice, but I'm not coughing at all. I'm done coughing, hopefully. So yeah, I don't know why my voice is still so scratchy all the time. But it doesn't hurt to talk anymore like it did last month. Last month was just wild with everyone being sick. Hopefully it's done. Oh, and it snowed for us this morning. So it kind of really encouraged me to get back into my 50 Winter Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. My fiance woke me up this morning and was like, it's snowing. And I was like, wait, what month is it? And all of a sudden it made me think of my 50 Winners Miniatures, the page that I was working on, and bam, I just got like a huge idea of what to do on the page that I was working on. And I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of really want to finish it now. So I honestly might work on that page this month, which is funny, but it's all because it snowed. Let's make this a little bit darker down here. It's not really spreading too well now. I don't know, I feel like my bristles are being weird now. It's not spreading across as well as it was when there was no marker down before, unless I'm just not seeing it spread because there's already pigment down. I don't know. I just want to make these areas a little bit darker. I gotta put more on. And honestly, I am almost done with this. I don't know. Oh, I did have an idea. I'll have to show you guys. I think it's because my brush is actually a little dry at this point. So I don't feel much water in it anymore. So I'm gonna give this a tiny little push. I'm afraid. Push. Okay, all right, so it's not that bad. All right, so I do feel a lot more water on there. I'm brushing it off on my towel just a little bit because I don't want it to be too wet, because I can already, oh yeah, Okay. Okay. So it is definitely a lot more wet. There we go. And it's spreading better. Okay, that's why. So you do need to push the button, just not a lot. I can see how wet that is. That worries me. But I really do like, once it dries, it actually dries really smooth. I kind of want to work out this fade here, and I want to deepen this area. So let's get in there and make this a little darker. And this a little darker. And this, I don't have much pigment left, so more marker. And we're almost done, but I do have a snazzy little surprise. Maybe. I have to take a look at the page and see. Maybe not. I'm always so afraid to add more to my page. I'm like, oh, I like the way it looks. It's fine. You have no idea how easy it is to please me. I'm just easy to please, happy with small things. Okay. Maybe this could use a little bit more fade. I just want to bring this out a little bit, but I don't want it to be too dark on the end, so I want to apply most of it down here first and then bring this out. I don't know if that's working. I'm trying not to. When you first pick up color and put it down, it's going to be the darkest, and then the further you go, it's going to fade. So I don't want to pick up marker and straight away put it into the spot where I'm trying to have it fade. So that's why I'm trying to find other areas of the page to put down the heavier pigment first, and then go back up here and bring it down towards the unicorns more, like it shows on this side. To me, this side looks better than this side, but I don't know. I think there's more space on this side, so you do see more color, and maybe that's what's throwing me off because of there being so much space. Over here, his head is more tucked into the foliage up here where the leaves and the flower is. So because of that, I might just not have the space to bring that into. But I really, really, really love this background now. I'm so glad we tested the colors that we did. And I'm happy that I pulled out the tans because it looks really good. I like it a lot. So we'll bring more color in down here. And how do I want to apply more here? And I don't think I have any here, so I'll put the darker here and then just a little bit of color in there and bring that out. Okay. I think there are a couple more places and then I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be wrapping this up. I don't think I'm gonna add anything else just because I guess I'm a little afraid to. But we'll do that on the next one. Here we go. A little bit darker there and in here. I just want to fade that out. A little bit darker in here. It just seems like this turned out better than this side, but maybe I went in too light originally. This I would want a little darker. And here. I don't know. This still seems, let me check if you guys are on the camera good. Yeah. This still seems a little bit lighter than this side. And I don't know why. And I believe it's fairly dry. So I'm going to go in there again with a little bit more. I wonder if it's because my brush was wetter here first because I wasn't pushing the button, and then I came all the way around and completed it without pushing the button. And then when I went back to do this part over again, I pushed the button again. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Maybe. So the more water, the more pale your colors are going to come across. The less water you have, the more color is going to show through. So, I mean, that makes complete sense. I just didn't think about how this side would be different from this side with having less water. It didn't come across my thought process. But I think that looks good. I don't know if I want to put anything here or not, because it is darker here. That kind of throws me off balance, but I don't know. I think it looks nice. I think I like that. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got, because it's looking a little bright. Maybe I should turn off the one light. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes the lighting is so wonky, and I wish I had natural lighting up here. I just don't. But I don't know. I like it. It's just enough for me. I didn't want it to be bright and crazy, and on the screen it definitely does look different than in person. It looks less faded on the screen, but in person this doesn't look as cut off and definite than it does on the screen. It looks more faded to me. Yeah, it's funny. In person, I like this side more, and on the screen, this side looks better. But that's it. That's what I got. I love the way that this turned out, and I'm really happy that I tried that. And that's all I wanted to do. So now that I did that, I feel like I can apply this application on different coloring pages, maybe even for maybe not the entirety of the thing. I do like the way blended pencils look on the main items, but this effect in the background definitely is fun. And for the page that I picked out this month, I definitely wanted to do this video and get this done first so that I could maybe play around with it even more with the background on this page. So we'll see what happens. I know you guys are super zoomed in, so, but that's all right. If you want to see the full page, you have to check out my April plans video. But that's it. Here, let's show the page that we did one last time. I'm really happy with how that came together. So thanks for hanging out with me. Like, again, this is not a tutorial. This is just me experimenting with a new process, my first time attempt, and I like the way that it worked out. Low, minimal water is the key. I already knew that, but I know it's going to be different with different mediums that you're using. Like I said, the water-based markers are already wet, so you don't need a lot of water to make this work. So I already understood that, but going forward, working with other mediums, it's going to be a different story. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys all have a great and colorful day. Bye. Well, that was a fake ending. As soon as I turned the camera off, I remembered to check the back of the page, and I wanted to hop back on and show you guys that I did get bleed through. Where am I at here? Oh, here we go. I did get bleed through here and a little bit up here. So not a hefty amount at all. Some here. Definitely here and a little bit there. So not a hefty amount, but there was bleed through during that process, and definitely something that I can cover up. That won't be a problem. But yeah, I think I have to maybe let it dry more. It seemed dry to me whenever I was going back over it again. Where are we at here? Right here. This part. It seemed dry enough to me. I can feel it, and it still feels wet in a sense. So I have to be more patient with it whenever I go over it a second time, because we did check the first time I went over it and it did not bleed through. So I think coming in the second time is what really pushed it to the limit. So there was bleed through. So again, another learning process of maybe being a little bit more patient between going over it a second, a third, maybe even a fourth time. I'm not sure how many times I kept repeating the process on this side to make it match this side, but I know it was several different attempts to put color on this side, and I just had to wait a little bit longer. I think maybe the fact that I was recording this made me want to get it done as quickly as I could, so that I can get it finished within the video. But going forward, I won't have a problem doing a base first, putting it to the side, coloring in a different book, and then coming back to it. That should be fine. So yeah, we have to watch out for that too. So again, not a tutorial. We live, we learn. We color, we learn. So there we go. So this is the real ending of the video. Have a great and colorful day. Bye guys.